All right, boom, let's get into it. Let's get into it. You all can't hear me? That's so weird. All right, hopefully you all can hear. Oh, you can't hear. Oh, that's so weird. All right, let me go out. Technical difficulties on Instagram, Facebook. Sorry, guys. We'll edit this out. Of course, the one day you go live, this happens. All right. Let me go live again on Instagram and see if they'll be able to hear. And then let me also turn on focus mode so no one interrupts my video. All right. All right, we're going to get started. My name is Ashley Kirkwood. I'm the host of the Speak Get Ready Cash show. I am also the founder of Speak Get Ready Cash, which is a company that helps experts, entrepreneurs, and authors sell more services, land bigger stages, and market their businesses using the most powerful sales tool on the planet, which is speaking. If you're on Instagram, let me know if you guys can hear me. If you're on Instagram, let me know if you guys can hear me. We had this cute title and everything, and it was not letting me be great. Just drop yes in the comments if you can. And then also, you all, if you're on Instagram, comment the word sales, and we will send you the link to register for Black Women Sell Live. All right. So I'm going to get into it. The comment of this, or the subject of this video is why we love sales calls and how you can use them in your business. All right, y'all, writing y'all some directions on Instagram. We're actually testing an automation on Instagram. So let me know if you can, let me know when you comment if you get a DM from us. Let's see if it works. All right, good morning, Kristen. So what we're talking about today is why we love sales calls and how we've been using them in our business to generate additional revenue. So if you are an entrepreneur, author, or expert, and you want to increase your sales, then listen up. We got some tips for you. It'll be rapid fire. And if you have a question and we have time for Q&A, or I can incorporate it into the comment, then just drop a comment with the question and we'll make sure that you get what you need. So here's the thing. I just saw a whole video on like why people don't like sales calls, why they are bad, why sales are not it, why they don't want to sell more services. And I was like, sales calls ain't bad. I love sales calls. So a little bit of a backstory, guys. I teach sales now in a mastermind for Black women experts called the Speak Get Ready Cash Mastermind. We do have a few good men, but it's a whole lot of women. A whole lot of women. We are almost at 100 members. We're at 94 members in the Speak Get Ready Cash Mastermind. And it is incredible. It's an incredible community. And one of the things that we teach and one of the things that we love is actually sales calls. Here's why we love them now. Drop a now in the comments if you all want to know why we love them now. Drop a now in the comments if you want to know why we love them now. And Instagram, let me know if you guys can still hear. There's something so weird going on with my phone. So let me know if you guys can still hear me and see me okay. All right, so why we love sales calls now is this. We're in a time where people are more disconnected than ever. And so if you can add any personal touches to your business, I believe now is the time to do it. So I highly recommend that if you are someone who can add personal connections to your business, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. So a couple of things, guys, a couple of things. If you are avoiding sales calls because you feel like it's not scalable, if you are avoiding sales calls because you feel like you don't know what to say, you don't have a script, those are not real reasons not to get on the phone. There are a few business owners who I highly recommend they get on the phone no matter what. One of those business owners would be if you're just starting your business and you aren't really sure the exact needs of your clients, you aren't sure the language that you should be using with them, you're not sure exactly how to get them from point A to point Z. and you desire to do a group coaching program, but at the moment you only have the ability to do it one-on-one because you're not really sure what to put in a group program, sales calls are incredible because they don't just serve as a way for you to sell people stuff. They also serve as an incredible opportunity for you to learn. And one of the things that we did in our business early on is I did the sales calls. I didn't offload sales calls until I had a sales system, a sales call script, and a sales call cadence that I knew worked. So now when I ask people to come in and do sales calls, it's not from a position of I hate sales, do these sales calls. It's from a position of, hey, I know exactly how to do them. I know exactly what works. I know exactly how many calls you can make to get an impact, and I know what's reasonable. So now, this is what you should do. This is the cadence that you should follow on the call. These are the questions that you should ask. And so I don't want you all to think that sales calls don't have a place now. I often find that people are trying to automate things that they don't even know work. And that is not an effective way to grow a business, in my opinion. Now, in about 5 years of being a full-time entrepreneur, we've done over $3 million in sales, millions of dollars in cash collected. I went from having a $300,000 job to having $300,000 months. And so I talk about sales not from a perspective of like, I read a book on it, but from the perspective of I've been able to sell a variety of products and services successfully and then coach others to do the same. And so that's the perspective that I start from. Also, before law, because your girl is a lawyer, right? Before law, my full-time job was sales in a variety of capacities. One for a large cigarette company. That one was as an intern. I think I talk about that one in my book. And that was like the easiest sales job I ever had. But another sales job that I had was actually for an inside sales company, meaning the entire point of the company that I worked for was when other companies needed to scale their sales, they would hire the company that I worked for, and then we would take over their sales, even as outside sales professionals. So we weren't even in-house with these companies. We just sold their stuff. We were just trained in sales. We had a 6-week sales training, and then we would sell a variety of products and services for these organizations. Okay. So I've done sales in a variety of different capacities. Then the first business that I started was a law firm. The first business that I started successfully was a law firm because I've had other companies before this. We'll talk about those another time. But the first business that I started successfully was a law firm. So we sold services anywhere from $2,000 trademarks up to $15,000 or $20,000 recurring monthly packages. So we've been able to do all of that. And I highly recommend that you all figure out a way to get on the phone, talk to your customers, make some sales. So number one, why are sales calls beneficial right now? Why are they beneficial right now? And if you're on Instagram, comment the word sales and I'll send you a DM about our summit. Comment the word sales and I'll DM you about our upcoming sales summit, which is at the end of the month. It's called Black Women Sell Live Rewind. We actually did an entire 2-day event all about sales. And what was so incredible about this event was it was particularly designed to help Black women experts sell more services. And then let me know if you comment that word, do you automatically get a DM? Just say, yes, got the DM. Just check real quick, then come on back. But it was an incredible event. The first of its kind that I've never attended an event like that where history and sales strategies from the 1800s and 1900s were leveraged and repackaged and repositioned and represented in order to teach Black women how to sell more services today by being more strategic and getting inspiration from our history and our past. So I highly recommend that. Anyone can come. Absolutely anyone can come. However, oh, are y'all not getting the DMs? She said that she's not getting no DM. Well, let me know. Anyone can come, men or women, Black or white, but it is specifically for, the content was specifically designed to help Black women sell more services. So number one, why sales calls? Why sales calls? Why sales calls? So one of the reasons why you want to do sales calls is to get data on your customers, to hear their language so that you can then use that language in all of your messaging and in all of your marketing. So that's the number one reason why you want to utilize that, that possibility, okay? So that's one. That is one. Two, however, is how are you going to, the number two reason would be that it helps you to overcome objections. It helps you to overcome objections. Another way you can get your ticket to Black Women Sell Live Rewind is by clicking the link in my Instagram bio. So the number two reasons why you want to use sales calls is to overcome objections. So if you're able to overcome, and this is how you're going to do it. On those calls, when people don't buy, then what you want to do is ask them why. Like, hey, why isn't this a good fit for you right now? What would have made this a no-brainer for you today? Those are two questions that you can easily ask to figure out why aren't people buying. Hey, what was your last investment in this area and how did it help you grow? And if you didn't grow, why didn't it help you grow? Why do you think it did not work out? Because there are times when people will tell you the objection is time or the objection is money, but you want to uncover the unspoken objection. This is something we talk about a lot on the Pitch Your Way to Cash Challenge, is the unspoken objections that are happening. And then three, some best practices is you want to make sure that you are preparing for your sales calls. You are listening to what the customer says. You are overcoming their objections in all of your responses. And you are actually asking for the sale over the phone. Get a verbal commitment over the phone. I cannot tell you guys how many times I've talked to sales professionals or I've trained salespeople who've worked for our organization and I listen to the call because we all like, look, pro tip. You hire someone to do sales for you, you want to hear the recordings of those calls. And you want to sit down and go through those call recordings and look at the calls that closed, look at the calls that didn't, and coach your team on how they can get better at overcoming objections with ease. Like, but in order for you to coach your team on that, you have to understand that. And so what I would say is that you want to ensure that you are someone who understands sales. Like, you as a CEO might as well also simultaneously call your job Chief Revenue Officer, so that you can make sales in your business and help your team members to do the same. All right. And here's a tip for those of you who are like, I'm kind of nervous about this. I'm new to sales calls. Practice. Role play with someone who is like not even in your industry. See what they say. Present the offer to them. You can also role play with people who are in your industry, friends, colleagues. You can join a mastermind or a coaching program to help you with sales specifically. All of that would be a really good thing to do. And then you want to review and record all of your sales calls and then make sure you didn't miss any key points in the process and review the calls for yourself that actually closed and the ones that did not. You want to attend as many sales trainings as possible to get your momentum up. Sales is not a gift. I think that the biggest cop-out that I have heard people use as it relates to our success or my personal success is, well, actually, that's just you. You just have this gift. And I'm like, well, I praise God for all the gifts he's given me, but there are some things that are gifts and there are some things that are skills. If I were to give you this book for free, that would be considered a gift. But with skills, with aptitude, with things that you can actively get better at, that's not a gift. It wasn't like, you know what I mean? The gift that God gave me was life, right? What I do with that life determines how many benefits I'm going to get from this life. So I did get the gift of life from God, and I'm really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful for my natural personality that comes out through the things that I do. But there are things that are skills, which means the good news about things being skills versus gifts is skills can be developed. Skills are not personality driven alone. Skills are based on what you put into it. And so I don't want you all to cop out by saying like, well, I just don't have that gift. I'm just an introvert. I'm just an extrovert. I just don't like, those are called excuses in my book. And so if you want to get better at something, figure out what skills are required to get better at it. Invest the time in developing those skills. All right. So I definitely want to make sure that you all do that. We've gone through some tips for improving your sales calls. I could probably take one question if you put it in the question box right away. If you did not get a DM from us about the Black Women Sell Live Rewind, then I do want you to go to the link in my bio, click the yellow button if you're on Instagram, or if you're watching this on Facebook or another platform, you can actually just see the link in this video. And what I want you to do is opt in to get your ticket to Black Women Sell Live Rewind. This was an incredible event that we did just a few weeks ago where women came, learned how to sell better, learned how to position better, learn how to increase their revenue with sales. And here's the thing about the Rewind, it's totally virtual. Everyone can attend. You should have a business, to be honest. You should have a business. And what we're going to do is we're going to take some of our most impactful sessions from this live event, and we are going to replay it to you live. So all you have to do is click the button in my bio. It's the first yellow button. It's called Black Women Sell Rewind, and get your ticket. So I got a question here that's like, hey, what is the best time to make a sales call? Personally, we have people who are calling our clients whenever we're doing a call campaign. They're calling from 8 a.m. all the way until 6 p.m. Eastern time. I don't know about the best time. Like, I don't even worry about stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna be real. I don't worry about stuff like that. Like, I don't worry about what's the best time. Like, I literally am like, how consistent can I be with this strategy? How can I look at the data and see what the data tells me for my particular consumer base? And then how do we go from there? Now, what we do is if you call someone in the morning and they don't answer, your next call to them should be in the afternoon or evening, so you can find the best time for that particular customer. We also have people do calls, follow up with a text, and follow up with an email. So what matters more than the actual time, I believe, is your follow-up cadence. But do not allow yourself to get caught up on the minute details that can do nothing more than just keep you from taking actions. Okay, so good question. Are these tips on making cold calls? I recommend you make warm calls, meaning this person may have been on my list, this person may have opted in via an ad, but they aren't completely cold to us. The people that we call in our organization come through one of our various marketing efforts. And because we are growing, we already multi-7-figure business. We are growing an 8-figure company and beyond. One of the things that we are doing is we always have multiple marketing efforts, totally organic from our social media posts, which you all can see, and then also efforts from our advertising, paid advertising, to get leads in, warm them up quickly, and have someone have a conversation with them at all times. I think the problem is not knowing how to have an idea, how to transition to sales. How do you sell something that's not a product or service based? I don't know what your product or service is. The sales cadence for most people is the same. If you're coming to the summit, one of the things that we will do is show you our sales roadmap, which actually goes through your sales process. And that sales process will apply whether you sell a product or a service. Now, we as a company focus on sales strategies and working with experts, those folks who are selling their services. They may have a product that accompanies the service, but typically their primary sale is their expertise, maybe packaged into a product, but the primary sale is typically their services. Now, in our mastermind, we have people who sell speaking services. We have people who sell international real estate opportunities. We have people who sell accounting services, legal services, coaching services, therapy services. Like it runs the gamut of who we work with. They're selling different services, but they typically all have that commonality of being experts. So if you are someone who is an expert, who sells a service, and who could stand, I mean, maybe you couldn't, right? But if you could just stand a few more clients, if you could just stand to make a few more dollars in your business, maybe even a few more millions in your business, then I want to see you at Black Women Sell Live Rewind. The ticket price is nominal. When I say nominal, like you'll never see us do a live event for these ticket prices. So I highly recommend you get your virtual ticket to this event. You already missed it live. It was off the chain. Do not miss it virtually. Click the link in my bio, register for Rewind, or send me a DM with the word sales, and I'll make sure to send you all the information. All right, talk to y'all soon.